Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me today. We're right at the end of the Health Awareness Week, and what a better way to end off than with a little bit of meditation practice. I hope I can provide some tips and tools that you can use at any moment, even if you don't have a lot of time. So I started meditating back in 2014. I did a 10-day silent meditation retreat. Probably the hardest thing I've ever done. You literally can't speak for 10 days to anyone, and you're kind of meditating like 9 hours a day. It was pretty intense, and then I did not meditate for about 2 years after that. I was pretty much kind of done with it for a little while. It was maybe a bit too much too soon, and then I kind of picked it up gradually and started to meditate again in smaller doses. And I recently returned from a retreat in California that was a slightly less austere experience, so it was a little more relaxed, which I appreciated. It was one of Thich Nhat Hanh's retreats. You may have heard of, I guess that's probably a mirror image, but Thich Nhat Hanh, you may have heard of him. He's a Vietnamese Buddhist monk, and he's been a teacher for a long time when it comes to meditation. Meditation does stem from Buddhism, but I wanted to, keep it sort of secular for us here, and I wanted to just let you know that the palms together is actually the meeting of the body and the mind, and then it's just an acknowledgement. Okay, so you can kind of do that to greet people, to start your practice if you'd like. So first we're going to do a little grounding exercise with a quick reset meditation. And then I'll read a teaching actually from this book. It's called You Are Here, very fitting. And then those who are interested will do a 5-minute sitting meditation together, and I will sort of be talking through that, just kind of guiding you. So first, I would love it if everyone can take their right hand and place it over their heart. And just feel the rise and fall of your chest and your breathing. Feel the warmth of your hand. Take your left hand and place it over your right hand. Again, we can just focus on our breath, whether it's the movement of your chest or the air passing through your nostrils. Or even I feel my heart beating. So anything that can kind of anchor your mind, preferably to your breath. So while we're here, I just really want to acknowledge to everyone, and I want you to acknowledge to yourself the challenges that you have felt during this time. Just anything that comes to mind, just shine yourself a light of compassion into your own heart for the challenges that you've experienced during this time and how it's been difficult for you specifically. Okay, so that's one way that you can kind of ground yourself. If you ever just need a minute, or you want to show yourself some compassion for something hard that you've been through, you can just kind of take a minute to reconnect with yourself. I'm going to continue with reading from this book, and it's kind of a how-to. It's called Discovering the Magic of the Present Moment. Unity of body and mind. I am here means doing what is necessary for the 5 elements of your personality to be fully established in the present moment. I am here is a practice, not a mere assertion. The verb to be here means to generate your own presence, your real presence. You must be here with your body and mind united. In our daily lives, we lose ourselves all the time. The body is here, but the mind is somewhere else. In the past, in the future, carried away by anger, jealousy, fear, and so on. The mind is not really present with the body. We are not really here. The breath is like a bridge that links our body and mind. If you come back to your breathing, your body and your mind begin to come back together again. To breathe mindfully, you can say silently to yourself, breathing in, I know I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I know I'm breathing out. So for those of us that do want to do the 5-minute meditation, that is the mantra that we can use, and that's one that I've really found a helpful tool, just especially if I'm having a particularly bad day in terms of thoughts all over the place. Then you can kind of anchor your breath with thinking those words. So thinking to yourself, breathing in, I know I'm breathing in on the in-breath. Breathing out, I know I'm breathing out on the out-breath. And I just want to make it clear that the practice of coming back to your mantra or to your breath, that is the practice. So if you think about building a muscle, you take your barbell and you just keep lifting it over and over again, and eventually you get a nice big bicep. So that's what we're doing here. Thought, back to the breath. Thought, back to the breath. We're working that muscle, and that is the practice. That is what allows you to be more fully present in your waking life, in your day-to-day moments. When you're talking to your spouse or your children, when you're working on a task, when you're sipping your coffee in the morning, you know, you're really there, you're really experiencing that. You're not mindlessly, you know, drinking the coffee just to get the caffeine in you while you're furiously typing an email. You just need to take a minute to enjoy those moments. That's all it takes, a minute, and to be present as much as possible for your life. So in terms of how to sit, it is, you can sit like I'm sitting, which is cross-legged. I have a cushion under me here. I'm in comfortable, loose clothing, and I have a shawl in case I get cold. I'm in my meditation room, which I know that not everyone has the luxury of setting aside that private space in their home. But you can also do your meditation at your workstation if that's where you are right now for today, or if you want to pull out a yoga mat or a cushion onto the floor, if that's convenient for you, you can also do that and sit cross-legged or sit however you're most comfortable. You want to sit with your back as straight as possible. And the reason for this, which I just learned recently, I mean, I guess it's good posture, but also it's to keep you alert. So, and it also allows for the air to flow. So if you're all slumped over, you're probably going to fall asleep. You know, you probably don't have that nice straight airway, and it's just, I guess, not good posture as well. So sit up nice and straight, and then I always like to say, you know, soften into it a little bit so that you're not uncomfortable. In terms of your hands, you can place your hands face down on your knees or on your thighs if you're sitting on a chair. You can also place your hands over your heart if you'd like, but if for a longer meditation that might get a bit tiresome. So hands down for grounding and palms facing up for energizing. So if you were doing a morning meditation, for instance, you might want to have the energizing stance. For now, we'll just put our palms facing down because we are just trying to kind of ground ourselves. Okay, so I like to close my eyes. There are some traditions of meditation that do not. They have just a soft gaze, and so you'd pick a spot kind of, 9 feet in front of you on the wall or on the floor and soften your gaze. So you can do that as well. And the reason for that is, again, just you want to bring the meditative quality of being in the present rather than being lost in your thoughts. You want to bring that to your waking life. So having the eyes open, it's maybe even easier to transition. But for myself, I prefer to have my eyes closed. You're welcome to use the breathing in, I know I'm breathing in, breathing out, I know I'm breathing out. You can also use, there are many similar types that you can use. You can say, I have arrived, I am home. So in breath, I have arrived. Out breath, I am home. I also recently I came up with, I am healthy, I am well. So that's a good one as well. Or I am loved, I am cherished. However you want to focus your breath. You can use any words that kind of resound or resonate with you. So let's all close our eyes. And let's just start to focus on our breath. Using the mantra if you'd like. Breathing in, I know I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I know I'm breathing out. In, out. In, out. Breathing in, I know I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I know I'm breathing out. In, out. In, out. I have arrived. I am home. I have arrived. I am home. I am healthy. I am well. I am healthy. I am well. I am healthy. I am well. Try not to fidget, but if you have an itch you need to scratch, then you can do so. Focus on your breath, the rise and fall of your chest or your belly, the air moving in and out of your nostrils. I am loved. I am cherished. I am loved. I am cherished. The practice is bringing your mind back to your breath. If it wanders, acknowledge it. You can even say to yourself, thinking. Put that thought on a shelf and come back to your breath and your mantra. I have arrived. I am home. I have arrived. I am home. Go ahead and enjoy breathing. Just being here. You are here and you have nothing to do except enjoy mindful breathing. When you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes and congratulations, you just did a 5-minute meditation. Descartes said, "I think, therefore I am." In light of meditation's teaching, you might say, "I think, therefore I am not here." You are lost in your thinking, so you are really not here. For you to truly be here, thinking has to stop. When Nelson Mandela made his first visit to France, the press asked him what he would most like to do. He said, "Sit and do nothing." Ever since I got out of prison, I haven't had time to just sit and do nothing. Sitting on a cushion and breathing is something Nelson Mandela cannot do. You can do it for him. Be there with your breath. Use mindfulness of the breath to unite your body and mind. Establish yourself here in the here and now so you can touch life in a deep way in this moment. Joy and happiness become real through mindfulness and the breath. I want to thank all of you for taking this time as I said, you don't need a lot of time to ground yourself. You can do hands over the heart, shine some compassion into yourself, especially if you're feeling frustrated or you just need a minute. You just want to calm your body and your mind. It will calm your nervous system, and it will help your body to function in a healthy way. If you wish to do a longer meditation, you can use the sitting that I taught you, and the mantras as well. There are plenty of resources out there as well, guided meditations on YouTube, lots of how-tos on the World Wide Web. It's kind of become a bit of a revolution. Meditation in the West has kind of caught on, and the scientists are really backing it up. So I think regardless of how much you are able to meditate, the key lesson is to be mindful and to be present in the moment. And the way that you can do that is, again, when you sip your coffee, give that coffee that moment, give it a minute, give it that time. When you're eating, give your food your full attention and the enjoyment of it, and where it came from, and all the hands that helped to bring it to your table, because that's the appreciation of life and the fullness of it, really. So feel free to reach out to me, Monica Graham. So you guys all know the email address if I just tell you my full name, and you're welcome to reach out. I'm happy to do more sessions if anyone wanted to do like a weekly thing, or if we wanted to do another one over Zoom or whatever. We could definitely do that live and in person. So again, bringing my body and mind together in this present moment, thanking you for being here and for your practice and for being willing, and of course for all the hard work that you do at work and with your families. Just want to say, be well, stay well, and let's all keep calm and carry on. Hopefully we'll be back to some kind of what we used to know as normal shortly, and maybe with a few improvements even. Take care, everyone.